Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to A Coder's Journey. This is Morteza and this is the next episode of my JavaScript tutorial. As I told you, in the beginning, we are going to spend most of our time in Visual Studio Code. And this is the first episode where I am going to use Visual Studio Code to, actually start writing JavaScript code. As I already told you, you'd better be familiar with HTML and also a little bit of CSS in order to better understand the topics of this series. So you can also use my series on HTML and CSS. Anyways, as you can see here, I have created a simple HTML document and I have it here open, in my browser. And this is a very, very simple, HTML document with a simple paragraph, which I have assigned an ID called demo. And in order to start writing JavaScript code, you can, add a script tag like this, right? And in the past, you had to, also add the type, right? But now it is not mandatory. You can get rid of this because, JavaScript is kind of the default language, the scripting language of HTML documents. So you can add this script tag, in your head element here, or you can put it in the body, doesn't matter. And you can start writing your code. And as I told you, one of the most important functions is document.getElementById, right? And here we can say, I want to get this ID, and then I can, change the inner HTML. This is something we talked about in our slides, right? And I can say inner HTML changed, right? And then I'm going to save and I'm going to refresh. And as you can see, nothing happens. And there is a reason for this. I'm going to talk about this. When you load your HTML file in your browser and when you refresh, when it loads, your browser kind of reads the content of your HTML from, all the way at the top until all the way, down here, right? And the problem here is that when the browser wants to kind of execute this script, this JavaScript, it is going to work with an element called demo, right? But the demo paragraph is going to load here. So here, when this code is going to execute, this element hasn't, been initialized, hasn't been created yet. So this is why we do not see any change. In order to see the change, we can, for example, take this script tag, right? We can cut it, we can put it here, right? After the body tag, right? And before the HTML tag, here the P element, the paragraph, will be initialized first. And then here, when the script wants to, execute, this paragraph has already been loaded. So we can, take the ID, its ID, and then we can change the, inner HTML of this paragraph. So I'm going to refresh. And as you can see, the element is going to change, and the inner HTML of this element is going to be, inner HTML changed. So this is very important to understand. I'm going to reiterate one more time. The script tag that we had here, right? When it wanted to execute, because your browser executes or runs your HTML document from all the way at the top till all the way down, right? So when it wants to run this script tag, this JavaScript code, this paragraph, which we are going to use here, is not loaded yet, right? So even though this code is going to change the inner HTML of this paragraph, because we do not have this paragraph at this time, right, nothing is going to happen. So if I, refresh again, we see the initial content of this paragraph. And if we want to really see the effect, we need to move this here. And this means that the paragraph will first be created and then the browser will execute this script, right? And if I refresh, you see the change. Now, you do not have to, use JavaScript like this. You can create functions using JavaScript, right? And then execute those functions when, for example, a button is clicked, right? So you do not have to write your JavaScript like this and then the browser, comes and execute it all together. No, you can write different functions, and those functions can be called, can be executed using different events. For example, when a button is clicked. This is something we are going to talk about in the next video. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and but if that's the case, please share this video with a friend, give it a like. Also subscribe to A Coder's Journey if you haven't already done so, and stick around. I will talk to you in the next video, where we are going to create a simple function in JavaScript, and then we are going to call that function and execute its code. Thank you so much for watching. Till later, and bye-bye.